Hey guys, and welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight with me, Leah Heilpern, the show where we speak to entrepreneurs, innovators, and thought leaders in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain space. Joining me today is the co-founder of Linear Finance, Kevin Tai. The Synthetix asset protocol, which describes itself as a Delta-One Asset Protocol. Before we jump into the interview, don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe, and let us know in the comment section below who you want us to interview next and which topics you want us to cover. Kevin, welcome to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight. How are you doing today?
Doing well today. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Now, I'm really excited to learn more about Linear Finance, but before we do, I do want to learn a little bit more about you, your background, and the team's background. Tell me.
Yeah, so in terms of my career, I started my career in Silicon Valley during the first dot-com boom. So I'm a little bit older than quite a lot of the crypto users. But I was doing M&A for Broadview, helping a number of the ERP companies basically do acquisitions of smaller project companies. I subsequently went to business school, and then I've basically spent the last 13 years here in Asia working on structured products and collateralized debt pools for a number of the bulge bracket banks, such as Standard Chartered, BNP Paribas, Credit Suisse, and then recently working at an asset management company here called Mirror Asset Global Investments. From the crypto side, I spent quite a number of years mining, both GPU miners, ASICs, FPGAs, and then it basically evolved into doing investing into projects, particularly into decentralized finance projects, which were more near and dear to my heart. The team here is actually quite experienced, and from both a technical perspective as well as a financial background perspective. My CTO, Dre, he also worked on the trading floor at Deutsche Bank and HSBC, and subsequently is basically leading the development of an STO platform here in Asia called Liquify. So he's been doing that for the last 2+ years.
Okay, so clearly a lot of experience, not just from yourself, but from the team as well. So tell us about Linear Finance. I want to hear the elevator pitch, and also, why does the world need another DeFi platform, particularly a synthetic asset protocol?
Yeah, so Linear Finance is the first cross-chain compatible, decentralized synthetic asset protocol. So users can come onto our platform, stake their LINA tokens, and it basically create synthetic assets cheaply, fast, and it's cross-chain compatible. So we do this because we basically use other public blockchains like Binance Smart Chain and soon Polkadot as an imminent L2 solution. And so we essentially fix the scalability and gas fee issues. So users can go ahead and conduct their transactions on BSC, which we currently have it built on right now. And then all of the assets on Linear can be swapped between Binance Smart Chain as well as Ethereum. So you can essentially get access to both DeFi ecosystems and use our assets throughout, whether it's on ERC20 or BSC side.
Yeah, I think being able to do that is so important when it comes to expanding this entire ecosystem, because there's demand for it, isn't there? But you did touch on this, but let's get a little bit more info on it then. So what makes you specifically different from Synthetix?
Yeah, so I think internally, we don't really consider Synthetix to be kind of our full competitor, but obviously from a community standpoint, people do compare us to Synthetix. In reality, obviously, we target on fixing the scalability and gas fee issues. Okay, that's one thing, but we're focused on speed, transaction costs, and more importantly, on focusing on providing or creating structured products for people to essentially invest in. So, and obviously, we have a strong financial background in this. So consider it to be, similar to FTX, right? It's a trading platform built for traders at the end of the day.
I think gas fees is such an issue. So I think I read today the gas fees for the Ethereum network back in January hit an all-time high or something like that. So yeah, that is pretty insane. But like you mentioned, you do come from the traditional financial background. So how did that actually influence the creation of Linea? And you did compare to a traditional platform. But what other platforms would you sort of compare Linea to that are traditional platforms?
Well, I think obviously from a Synthetix perspective, there are a lot of number of platforms that have coming out. People like Injective Protocol, as well as Mirror. Everybody is actually going through and coming out and being able to give people access to traditional finance products. But from our perspective, I think we will eventually go ahead and do that also. But we want to take it one step further, right? So. A lot of what we'll go ahead and offer will be structured products that we'll make with traditional finance and with crypto products in general. So to give people specific exposures in a way that where it is actually cost efficient, as well as giving people or providing users, crypto users, with institutional level types of research, transparency, and information, so that it's much easier for them to know essentially what they're buying at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%. I think just sort of a side point to that, transparency is so important, especially in this DeFi market, because there are so many different protocols that have anonymous founders. So I just think focusing on that transparency is so important. But can you tell us who some of your strategic investors are?
Yeah, so we have a number of strategic investors that were with us from the beginning. Companies such as Genesis Block Ventures, Hashed, CMS, Alameda Research, NGC. They've gone through and they've really helped us in terms of opening doors to other DeFi projects who we have as partners, as well as helping us build our community, right? So if we looked at somebody like Hashed, who's very strong in Korea, and they've gone through and invested in a number of the Korean blockchain companies. They know the market best there, and it's a very niche type of market with certain types of users, with certain user behaviors, and they essentially helped us do the market entry strategy for that community. So we've actually been able to grow that community quite rapidly with them, as well as get access and listed on a number of the Korean exchanges.
And at the beginning of the interview, I described you guys as a Delta-One Asset Protocol because that's how you describe yourself. So this is quite an interesting term. What does it actually mean?
Well, I mean, Delta-One is essentially just from a Synthetix perspective, it's a one-to-one movement, right? So, say we track gold, for every $1 move up in gold, there's a $1 move up in our price on Synthetix and on our exchange. And so that's kind of the basic general products that we have, that we will be offering in terms of kind of spot crypto, commodities, currencies, and then ultimately indices. But obviously, as products as we move along and users become more complex and products become more complex, we are looking at additional things like leverage tokens, short tokens, and leveraged indices.
Okay, let's go into this a little bit more. What kind of Synthetix will you have on your platform? Let's get specific.
Yeah, so right now, obviously we've gone through, we made our initial mainnet launch. We probably have about 10 odd spot crypto. We have offering silver and gold. And then ultimately later on this month, we will be rolling out some short tokens, the inverse tokens for the original crypto set. And then we will have indices. So we will have basically some broad-based crypto indices that we'll make announcements on later on. And I think from a product perspective, the first 2 or 3 months, you'll probably see the most products coming out. We'll probably try to announce a few sets of tokens or liquids, Synthetix every 2 odd weeks. And then basically essentially have them before on our testnet exchange for testing for the price data feeds before then. So I think users will be a bit surprised about what we come out with. There will be a number of, I would say, what we consider to be creative thematic exposures, things that you won't find in some of the other exchanges. You certainly won't find because they haven't been looked at before. So obviously keep a lookout on our social media channels.
I think these kind of projects are so fascinating, synthetic ones, just because, we've seen what's happened with Robinhood. And I guess, being able to trade more traditional assets in a decentralized manner is going to be really exciting for the space. So I think this is really, going to be one to watch, to be honest. But right now you are Ethereum based. I know you mentioned Binance. So what other chains are you guys going to be integrating with?
Yeah, so Linear, when we first started, obviously our Lina token is an ERC20 based token. We built the Buildr, our Buildr dApp, and an exchange dApp on Ethereum, but we've actually migrated everything over to Binance Smart Chain because of the scaling issues currently the Ethereum projects are facing, and gas fees, right? So we did that last week, and we migrated all of our users, all of our stakers, to Binance Smart Chain. So if you go through and you use our platform, you'll notice that all of our transactions, the gas cost for each transaction ranges between 25 cents to $1. And obviously, you know how that compares to doing a transaction on other synthetic asset exchanges on the Ethereum side. And so a lot of the users are actually really quite happy with this, and they're able to enter and exit their trades quickly and cheaply, and also stake and unstake and claim their rewards in the same manner.
Yeah, those Ethereum gas fees. This isn't even on a synthetic protocol. This isn't DeFi. I think I once sent around $77 and I had to pay $22 or something like that in gas fees, which is just mind-blowing. It's totally insane, isn't it? You mentioned staking, so tell us a little bit more about staking, because I understand that staking on your platform is a little different to how it's initially and traditionally done.
Yeah, because on our synthetic asset exchange, traders can essentially create these synthetic asset exposures with no slippage and unlimited liquidity. And so because of that, you actually need a counterparty. And the stakers in our debt pool, or the stakers in our platform, essentially serve as the counterparty. And in exchange, they get staking fees, Lina rewards, which are staking rewards, as well as a large portion of the exchange fees that are generated every single day. So stakers will come in, bring their ERC20 Lina onto our Buildr dApp. Our Buildr will swap their Lina ERC20 to the BEP20 Binance Smart Chain version, stake it, and then generate our stablecoin, which is liquid lUSD. And with the lUSD, you can then go on our exchange and purchase our synthetic assets.
Okay, I want to focus a little bit on the Lina token there. So tell us more about the use cases and how it fits into the ecosystem, I guess, other than the staking side of things.
Yeah, so it's actually Lina's and lUSD is actually quite important, because lUSD is kind of the starting point of the journey for our synthetic asset protocol. So once you're able to stake and you basically generate the lUSD, I mentioned before that all of our assets are cross-chain compatible. And once you trade it, it actually sits in your wallet. So essentially, it's with you. You can take it off of our protocol and use lUSD and all of our other synthetic assets that are created in the DeFi ecosystem. So you can use it at the AMMs, also other staking pools. So right now, we've gone through and we've created a Lina, a BUSD pool on PancakeSwap. There's also a lUSD, BUSD pool. So people can take those synthetic assets that we create off the exchange and use it to continue to build their DeFi Legos if they choose to do so, and generate additional yield.
I want to move on a little bit and talk about community, because as we know, community is so important. So tell us about the community that you guys have built and how you intend to grow.
Yeah, so right now we've had a few thousand people in our general Telegram group, a few hundred in Discord. We also have international communities for Korea, Vietnam, Russia, Turkey. And so I think for us, we try to build organically. You know, we have a really good set of admins that are there covering users and any user issues on a 24-hour basis. And so we try to do it from word of mouth. We'll go ahead and run additional AMAs and promotions within the group. And then we'll also cross-pollinate into other communities, other DeFi projects, obviously on the Binance Smart Chain and any of the other Ethereum DeFi protocols.
And just finally, tell us some of the key milestones that you guys have achieved, and also what we can look forward to.
Yeah, so obviously we've been at this for the last 6-7 months. We've successfully raised a round of financing, and we've basically gone through and built out our mainnet Buildr, as well as our linear exchange. And those have all been launched. So right now we're kind of at the starting point. The journey continues. We're starting to build out additional assets that we're listing on the exchange. And also from a tech team perspective, we're building additional functionality on the exchange, things like stop loss, limit orders, additional trading functionalities, as well as obviously the most important one going forward will be the multi-collateral. So soon you'll be able to stake not just LINA tokens, but also other tokens from other DeFi protocols and other coins. So we'll have BTC and WETH to be able to be staked to generate lUSD. Okay, and more importantly, we are working on the tech integration with Polkadot through Moonbeam. So that's in process right now, and hopefully when Moonbeam comes out later on this year, we'll be able to roll that out. But the vision on that for linear finance and how that actually looks is still to be decided, and everything is in the testing stage right now. So lots to look forward to. And I ask users to kind of check out our announcements going forward. Obviously, over this month will be very exciting. Over the next few months, you'll start seeing more and more assets come out.
Yeah, this does sound incredibly exciting. Really lots to look forward to, I guess. So, Kevin, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of this with us at Altcoin Buzz Spotlight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.